A very warm welcome back to the channel. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. In today's aviation news recap, I'd like to take a look at Boeing 777 news, new Pacific Airlines again shifting their strategy, and a new route launch in Australia. Let me begin with Boeing, who have labelled the Daily Mail and New York Post's reporting citing a new electrical flaw near a fuel tank on the 777 as sensationalising standard regulatory processes. Moreover, Boeing has called the reports misleading and reckless. The plane maker adds that they have no immediate effect on the safety or integrity of the popular widebody. But what is this reporting all about? Well, the Daily Mail, a tabloid, broke a headline on the 23rd of May 2024, stating that 300 Boeing planes used by United and American Airlines have a potential flaw that could cause fire or explosion on jets, according to the FAA. In this piece, the Daily Mail says that according to the FAA's proposal, issues involving an electrical fault can, if unaddressed, cause the fuel tanks on the plane's wing to explode after catching fire. The FAA Airworthiness Directive, however, stated that this proposed AD would require installing electrical bonding and grounding, installing the cover plate assembly with new fasteners, and revising existing maintenance or inspection programs where applicable. The FAA was proposing this AD to address the unsafe condition. However, Boeing says that the FAA's regulatory process has been largely sensationalized. Moreover, this AD isn't actually fresh, first coming to light in March 2024 with an issue known sometime prior. Boeing went on to highlight the fantastic operational reliability that the 777 has enjoyed, flying for almost 30 years, and it's been able to transport 3.9 billion passengers. Now, I'm also more than aware that this comes at a sensitive time given what happened on that Singapore Airlines Boeing 777, but it's very important to note that while that is absolutely heartbreaking to see take place, it's not an issue with the 777 per se. It is unrelated, more so centering around turbulence, which can happen on any aircraft. At this time, Boeing has become a very easy target for overdramatic and rather sensationalized claims regarding the integrity of its jets. These dramatic headlines are spurred on thanks to the quality defects across the Boeing operation, which are definitely valid and a huge cause for concern, but there is a fine line and many seem to cross that. Ultimately, these defects are concerning that I speak of, but the widespread target on the manufacturer's back also really speaks volumes about the near irreparable damage that we've seen occur to the brand in the last decade. Whether, again, how I touched on incidents of turbulence or something unrelated to Boeing, if the plane maker produces the aircraft involved, it gets roped into the story, where maybe in the past it wouldn't have done so. The FAA is investigating Boeing for many quality issues away from this 777 coverage. The FAA wants to ensure that Boeing can instill a culture that focuses on safety rather than finances, something I do intend to look at in tomorrow's aviation recap. And as a result, we've seen production barred and several changes occurring at an executive level of the company as they look to change for the greater good. On to the next story, and that'll move to Australian company Rex, who have announced a new route, and it is an important one as it sees them head out west with jet-powered aircraft. Service is slated to commence from Friday, June 28th between Melbourne and Perth, with the carrier offering 5 weekly flights between the two popular cities on opposite sides of the country. They will utilise their fleet of Boeing 737. The route marks a very important milestone in Rex's continued business development. Remember, this former regional-only airline only acquired 737s during the global pandemic and has since put them on popular domestic markets such as Melbourne and Sydney. And remember, these are also highly competitive markets too, where your major company of Qantas has a high presence. Therefore, the airline launching from Melbourne to Perth with its fleet of 737s is another fantastic achievement that definitely should be applauded. Rex says that when more airlines are present complacent on the one route, it forces all the airlines to get better. Basically, what they mean is you can't be complacent if you have competitors breathing down your neck. It will increase competition, which should have benefits for customers in the long term, with greater value for money. And I'm sure you know that's a huge focal point in today's society. Where can you truly get your bang for your buck? The airline's general manager for network strategy, Warwick Lodge, wasn't afraid to boast about the airline's on-time performance either. Rex is said to outshine competitors in the domestic landscape with far lower cancellation rates that also translate to high levels of on-time performance. Interestingly, on-time performance and cancellation rates were an important factor when Rex was looking to expand its route network, focusing on Melbourne to Perth. Why? Well, because in the first 4 months of 2024, the airline actually said that competitors cancelled 57 flights across the routing, which resulted in on-time performance also of only 72%. Rex believes they can do a lot better in this market and become a leading choice. Ultimately, the route segment will represent the 11th domestic service offered by 737 at the company. Many highlight the 737's use as a true game changer in allowing Rex to diversify the route network alongside its usage of sub-regional jets. Rex says the good times will keep coming as it is expected to announce a new domestic service in the coming days. But given I record these videos about 5 to 6 days in advance and write them even earlier, the likelihood is that new route has already been released and will be covered before you know it here on the channel. On to the last story, and the airline that many would argue has had a bit of an identity crisis. New Pacific Airlines, or maybe as you know them more so, formerly Northern Pacific, has deepened their partnership with Elevate Aviation Group. What does this entail? It entails the reconfiguring of the 757 fleet, with 3 jets to now seat 78 passengers in all business class. The pair say that they've seen high demand for private charter travel and believe the deepening of their relationship should result in long-term benefits. New Pacific also says that per their latest forecasting, they anticipate demand to intensify across the summer and into the fall, and there will be a use for their aircraft. Hospitality, corporate shuttles, and much more have seen an uptick recently in the need for 757 jets per the pair, and because of New Pacific Airlines' position in the industry, which is a bit of an odd one, they do have 757s that are basically just sitting around and not doing much. The partnership is expected to continue into the future. The pair very publicly note that with more aircraft joining the New Pacific fleet, they'll be configured similarly to the 3 jets and be an all-premium. While many markets are being targeted, Elevate definitely highlights factors such as sports and those traveling in their target market. New Pacific Airlines is a bit of a curious case. Remember, they initially launched with a plan to fly from the United States to Asia as a commercial airliner. That didn't happen due to global conflict and related airspace restrictions. Following this and their plans basically collapsing, they launched flights from Ontario to Las Vegas, Nashville, and Reno, and then they were also eventually cancelled. And now the airline's in a bit of a situation where what is it actually doing? Well, this seems to be the new, or should I say, latest venture for New Pacific Airlines. You can let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. Thank you very much for your support here on the channel. It is certainly appreciated. Take care. Please do also be safe. I'll see you same place, same time tomorrow for your latest aviation news. And we'll fly.